Okay, you guys, now I'm going to show you how to do this really cool writing overlay project. So the first thing I want to do is find the photo that I want to use. And I found it right here. I'm going to use this photo of Ernesto. You are going to use a photo of yourself. I'm going to right click and I'm going to download it. I'm also gonna see maybe I want to use a texture, and I sent you this folder of textures. Um, Choose one of these that you might be interested in. So I'm gonna choose. Um, let's see. I feel like I want to choose this one, so I'm gonna download it. Right click, click on the three arrows, and download. And then finally, you found a quote and you wrote it on a piece of paper and you sent it to yourself, and it looks like this. And then you are just gonna download this too. Okay, now you have, if you go to Finder, in your downloads folder, you should see your things right here. If you are in my Media 4 class, you want to take these and you want to open Google Drive and move them into your advanced media folder. So, for example, go to my drive, advanced media, make a new folder, call it photo edit number 1, and then open that and drag these elements into that folder so that you have them. Okay, now you can right click on your image, go to open with, and find Photoshop. Click on it one time and let it bounce up and down like this. 1, 2, ding, ding. And if that didn't work, you can click on F4 in your corner or pinch your screen and find PS Photoshop. Okay, and here we are. The next thing that I want to do is I want to make sure I can see my adjustments. If you don't see this, you can go to this button up here and click photography and make sure you clicked on this layer. Now I want this in black and white, so I'm gonna click on the black and white adjustment right here, and then that looks pretty good to me. But you can also click on brightness and contrast right here, and you can play with this a little bit. You see, you have your options right here. I can make it brighter, I can make it darker. I think I just want it to look good right around there. It's almost perfect already. I can add contrast. Usually adding contrast helps. This photo is already edited though, so it does not need a whole lot of changes. That looks good to me right there. Okay, now the next thing that I want to do is go back into my Finder window, and this is in my Google Drive since I put it there. Yours might be in downloads. I'm going to find the picture of the writing that I did and drag it onto this one. Okay. Now, here's my photo. Here's of the writing. I'm going to choose this dot 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 squares, and I'm going to just highlight the around the words like this. I'm going to make sure that I'm clicked on the layer of the picture. So that's this one. You can see right here is the picture. And then I'm going to click on this button right here, which is called a mask. And that's going to get rid of everything else. There we go. Okay. Now, after I have done that, I'm going to click on this tool here called threshold right there. And you can see that changed the whole picture because it changes everything, all of the layers that are below it. But I just wanted to change this layer of my writing. So I'm going to right click or two click on the layer, and I'm going to choose create clipping mask, which sounds complicated, but all it does is it changes this layer so it's only being used on the one right below it. So one more time, that was right click. I'll do it again. Right click, create clipping mask, like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is going to do that whole thing one more time. So I am going to take this photo again, drag it in. I am going to click on this rectangle tool. I am going to put it over my words. And if I get it wrong, I can click deselect or Command D and try again. Just want white, just want the words. Okay, I got it. I click on this, and then one more time, I threshold it. It looks good, and I right click, create clipping mask. Okay, now we have both of these, but you can see we want to get rid of this white. Something I'm noticing on this one though is these little dots in the corner. If you're seeing that, you can click on your threshold layer and change. You see how much threshold we got right there. That looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to click on this layer, the one with my right side words. That's my Spanish, and now I'm gonna change how this looks by clicking on. This is called a blending mode, and each one of these is going to change how it looks. So darken is pretty basic. I can click on my move tool, and I can move it where I want it. That looks pretty good. You could try other ones too. Multiply, color burn, lighten changes it this way. The other one, if I want white text, I think I have to go all the way down to divide, gives me a white text. I like that. That looks good. Okay, now I want to choose this one, and I can just click on it, or I can click on the layer. I clicked on it, and I think for this one I want to use darken. So we're going to have one black and one white in my version, but you can do them however you want to. Cool. Okay, just one more step for me. Honestly, I'm going to go back into my Finder. I'm going to find my folder, or I'm going to go to downloads, and I'm going to find the texture that I downloaded. Advanced Media for me, photo edit, and here it is. It's this. I'm going to drag it into my picture. Okay, and you can see it's black. That's fine. Don't worry about it. As long as it's on top, I'm going to drag it so that it looks like it's covering the whole thing, like that. Okay, scary right now, but one more time, I'm going to click on this blending mode, and then I'm just going to change it until I get one that I like. And that looks pretty cool right there, because you can see it just adds a little bit of like, makes it look like a piece of paper, you know? And if it's too much, I can also click on opacity and turn it down so that I kind of hide it. This is like a little bit, but this one's not too intense, so I'm just going to choose it all like that. Okay, I like how this looks. I think this is cool. You can even try adding two textures. Let me try one more. I don't know. Let's try this one. So this is a piece of paper. If I go to the corner and I see the little two arrows, I can turn it like this. Okay, make it a little bigger again. And then let's see. This one. That's pretty cool. It just adds, it makes it a little more interesting, I guess. And I chose this quote: "We carry a new world in our hearts. Llevamos un mundo nuevo en nuestros corazones." It's a quote from a Spanish um, a person who fought in the Spanish Civil War, alguien que peleaba en el Guerra Civil Español in las trentas, in the 30s. Um, and I think it's a cool quote. Oh, one more thing I want to show you is if I click on this, if I click on my um, words again, for example, I click here and then I can turn them too a little bit if I want to. You see, maybe like that looks kind of cool. Yeah, now I like it. Okay, the last thing I want to do is I want to first file, save, and I want to make sure I call this Zach quote edit number one, and I'm going to put it in the same folder, Google Drive, my drive, advanced media, photo edit number one, and I'm going to save it. You can just choose downloads too if you are not in my advanced media class. So for me, advanced media and save. Okay, and then one more thing, we're going to go to export file, export, quick export as PNG. And again, I'm going to put it in that same folder, my drive, advanced media for me, photo edit number one, and save. If you're not in my advanced media class, you can put it in your downloads folder or another Google Drive folder that will save it for you. Remember, if you put things in your downloads folder, you may lose them. So the best place to put them is always Google Drive. Please put it in Google Drive if you have one. Okay, now I can see when I go to my folder in Google Drive, my drive, advanced media, photo edit number one. Here is my project, and here is my final picture. Really cool. Thank you.